Sound check one. Good morning. Welcome to the Hamilton Tourism Development Corporation Board of Directors meetings for October 7, 2025. Quorum is present. We'll call the meeting to order. Please remember that all electronic devices are to be switched to a non-audible function during committee meetings. Approval of agenda. May I please have a mover and seconder to approve the agenda as presented? Councillor Cassar, Councillor Wang. Indicate your vote. Show of hands. Thank you. Declarations of interest. Not seeing any. Where are we? Approval of minutes, previous meeting, May 12, 2025. I'll have Councillor Cassar and Councillor Wang to move it to approve the minutes. Any discussion on the approval? Seeing none, show of hands. Thank you. Items for information, 5.1 HTDC 25002. Hamilton Tourism Development Corporation update for the Board of Directors. I believe, I don't know if GM Prasad or Manager McHugh, whoever, go ahead whenever you're ready, and we'll take it from there.
So through the chair, since we were required to call this board meeting to swear Arvin in as president, we thought we'd take this opportunity to provide updates on a number of projects. There's no recommendations or new funding requests in this report. This is an information report. And I did provide some backup to help me go through some of these projects because there's a lot of amazing work that is happening. So the first project, which we'll give just a brief update, is our Waterfall Destination Master Plan. And to speak to that briefly, we have Hildegard Snellgrove, who's the lead on that project.
Good morning, everyone. We're really excited to be doing this project. It is a big cross-city collaboration. The current project phasing is, we're just in the first phase. So the consultants are about to have a visioning session actually on Thursday with our other partners. As you know, the city doesn't own all of the waterfall properties. This is a big collaboration with the Hamilton Conservation Authority, the Bruce Trail Conservancy, the Royal Botanical Gardens. Some of them are in the Halton Watershed Management, but we own the parking lot, so we've included them, as well as our regional tourism organization. So this will be the last big kickoff meeting that we have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We'll also be doing site visits. The consultants have already started some of those, and then we'll be going into our engagement phase as well, coming up very quickly this fall. The project will wrap up with a draft presented to council end of Q1, and then the final presented end of Q2. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. So next project, Lisa Abbott, who's online with us from Kingston at the Creative Cities Summit. Lisa, are you there with us?
Hi there, Ryan. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. So we have a very exciting attraction, which we have the opportunity to land here in Hamilton, called Lullaby, and I'll let Lisa Abbott provide further information on this project.
Good morning. Thank you. As Ryan mentioned, we have an opportunity to bring a cultural attraction called Lullaby. This is an original multimedia exhibition by Melky Productions. Melky Productions has a strong track record of developing, building, and implementing large-scale interactive exhibitions. The most recent one being War Flowers, which was developed in partnership with the Canada War Museum for the 150th anniversary of Canada. This exhibition is, the subject matter is around a multicultural experience where every person around the entire world shares a common experience of singing children to sleep with lullabies. This attraction is currently scheduled to debut in Gatineau, Quebec at the Canadian Museum of History in 2026. And then we are endeavoring to bring it to Hamilton in the beginning of 2027, along with Pier 21 in Halifax. And so we would have a joint opening. The exhibition has great potential, and we see it as an opportunity to also animate the downtown as we are working on bringing it to a location in the downtown to increase traffic and add to downtown vibrancy and bring another attraction, again, aligned with our tourism master plan to bring cultural attractions into the city that are new and exciting. Thank you, and happy to answer any questions on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. The next project I'll speak to So we are in the process of entering into a sponsorship and marketing agreement with Oakview Group at TD Coliseum. As you've seen in the news, there's been just an incredible stream of big announcements. We're going to have quite a few people coming from Toronto for these big shows. A lot of times this will be their first time in Hamilton for a while. They'll be coming into the West Harbour. So what we really want to ensure as Tourism Hamilton is that these people are coming, not just going for the show and leaving back to Toronto. We want people having overnight stays. We want them eating in our restaurants, shopping in our shops, having drinks at our bars. So this really is a presence in the arena to really push what to do and see in Hamilton, just to make sure that we get the maximum economic impact from all these guests coming into the city. So this would be an agreement from the arena's opening until the end of 2026. And just with the number of shows we've seen already announced, we're expecting the number of people through that building to triple from what it was prior to the renovation. And just to speak to the number, that was about 500,000 people a year. We're going through the former First Ontario Centre. So we're expecting with current projections, that number to be over 1.5 million. And based on Oakview Group's ticket data to date, a sizable portion of the people purchasing tickets for the first shows that have been announced are from Toronto, and we're working very closely with Metrolinx and all city departments to make sure it's properly signed from the West Harbour Station, Central Station, as well as major throughways in the city, whether that's King or York, or coming in from the east end of the city. So we're really all hands on deck to make sure that is properly signed and that guests understand how to best experience Hamilton and support our local businesses. So next project, I will call on Lisa Abbott again to speak to Hamilton's Year of Music. Lisa, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Ryan. The Year of Music is a marketing initiative that will focus attention on all of the exciting events around that are happening within the music industry in Hamilton in 2026. This marketing campaign will provide support for the many events that are happening, as well as the music industry itself. Hamilton has the 6th largest cluster of music industries in the country, and this is a great opportunity to shine a spotlight on it, aligned with the arena opening and the hosting of the Juno Awards in Hamilton, and the hosting of the Folk Music Festival that will be also taking place in Hamilton later in the year in 2026. The marketing campaign will include banners, pageantry, pole wraps, as well as an online campaign. And this is something that has the goals of building civic pride and trying to tweak the dial a little bit on looking at Hamilton's reputation beyond its borders as a city of creativity that is focused on music and supporting musicians and the creative industries. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. This next project is the Indigenous Tourism Development Strategy, and I will turn it back over to Hildegard. Thanks, Hildegard.
Thanks, Ryan. We're excited to say that this project is wrapping up, and we will be providing an information communication update to council shortly. This project, as a reminder, is to really lay the groundwork for Indigenous-led tourism in Hamilton. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening, and tourism is a unique tool to be able to be used for truth and reconciliation efforts, because it's something that, again, when it's Indigenous-led, you're speaking the truth, you're educating people, you're sharing their culture, and it's not just based in history. While that's an important part of it, it's also how do things move forward, and that's something that we really heard from the Indigenous people, both urban Indigenous and the broad advisory group that we had as well from our surrounding treaty nations and traditional nations. So we're very excited to be providing that update soon. The implementation plan is done as well, so that will have more information. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Hildegard. And the last project that is addressed in this report is the establishment of the Municipal Accommodation Tax Advisory Group. That was an action in the tourism strategy. We do this informally through a number of channels already, but we would like to deliver on this action by bringing back at the next board meeting terms of reference of who and how we select representation from the industry to advise this board and staff on any requests that go forward. It's our intention to, before we bring any funding requests to this board, that we have met with the advisory committee, received their comments, and provided them in any report. At the moment, that's being done informally, but we'd love to build out just a section specifically with what each partner had to say. And it's important that the tourism sector is widely represented. Of course, hotels will have prominent representation as, this is funded by the MAT, which is a surcharge on hotel stays, but also looking at other municipalities and what they've done. We've looked at best practices. We would like representation from the transportation industry, our various entertainment venues, culinary and attractions. So we're looking at tentatively an advisory group of 11 members. We'll report back with what their terms are, what the adjudication process is to pick them, but just want to give line of sight to the fact that this action is being worked on in the background, and we will come forward with recommendations at the next board meeting. So those are the projects that are addressed in this information report. We're happy to take any questions.
Thank you for that, Manager, and everyone that presented. Councillor Wang, please go ahead.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions. Excited to hear about the OVG advertising sponsorship agreement. I just want to be crystal clear about how this works, because in your information report, you talk about it from Tourism Hamilton negotiating this. However, we're here at the HTDC board meeting. So I just want crystal clear clarity as to the division of responsibilities, because HTDC would be the ones to help with, I guess, jockeying or quarterbacking the deal. The poll reps, the actual advertising would come from Tourism Hamilton. So I just want to get a clear sense of where's the delineation of responsibilities here?
Right, through the chair. So excellent question. So you're correct, Councillor Wang, that this agreement would be between the Hamilton Tourism Development Corporation and OQ Group, and the consideration that this corporation would receive in turn is advertising assets and opportunities. We ourselves don't have a public-facing brand as the Hamilton Tourism Development Corporation, so that those assets and marketing opportunities would be utilized with Tourism Hamilton messaging, which is directly targeted at the audience we're trying to capture through this agreement.
So help me understand the revenue model here then. So where does the money from advertising go? Does that come to HTDC, or does that go to Tourism Hamilton, or does that go to the City of Hamilton? I don't understand where the money flows.
So through the chair, so just to make sure I'm clear, the revenue from municipal accommodation tax?
No.
No? Okay.
So you're negotiating a deal with OVG. This is an advertising and sponsorship agreement that because the money from MAT goes to us as the HTDC. We're using that money to go off and negotiate this deal with OVG. But that deal comes with sponsorship and advertising, which is a wholly separate line item. If they're doing that sponsorship and advertising, where does the money from, say, Coca-Cola, where does that come in? Does that come into HTDC, or does that go into Tourism Hamilton? Or does that go to OVG? I don't know where the money goes. So I don't understand the revenue model here.
So, through the chair, thank you for that clarification. So as this agreement would essentially purchase from OQ Group advertising rights, just similarly as a Coca-Cola would. So they have the rights for all commercial opportunities in the venue. In exchange, in that agreement, the City of Hamilton has no operating or capital obligations. And also OQ Group made significant investment in the building. So in exchange for those considerations, they hold all commercial rights. So we would, as the Hamilton Tourism Development Corporation, be purchasing those commercial rights from OQ Group, which they solely retain.
Okay. But that doesn't, you spoke about the user experience, everything from West Harbor up to the Coliseum. Feasibly, the city owns a lot of those advertising opportunities from West Harbor up until we hit the Coliseum. So where does, help me understand this.
Through the chair, great point, and I apologize I wasn't clear on that. So everything, you're correct, at West Harbor Station and Metrolinx, but we're working with them to get signage. Everything from there to the arena, you're correct, is a city asset, but we're just making sure we are communicating this in a coordinated way. But this agreement would be specific to Oakview Group assets, which would be in arena and the signs on the arena. So this, everything outside of the arena, we're working with them to do through other existing pots of money. This would get the advertising and marketing rights within the arena and on their digital signage as an example.
Okay.
And digital channels as well.
Okay, and then because of this deal, money is not really changing hands because of how we're labeling this as sponsorship. Is that correct? Because we're not using municipal accommodation tax to be paying for these assets at the Coliseum, because this partnership will be actually listing out the value and the benefits, and essentially it's an exchange of value versus an actual exchange of dollars. Is that correct?
So through the chair, this would be an exchange of dollars for those marketing assets. So Oakview Group, they have invested significant money, taken on significant operating capital obligations. So in the lease with Oakview Group and the master agreement, which is a public document, these rights were not negotiated through that table. So it's something which it's just an audience. From a tourism perspective, it's so important that we capture to make sure those dollars stay locally. So this would achieve that through this separate agreement.
Okay, thank you for that clarity. That really helps me understand that a lot better. I think through you, Chair, it really just, where the crux of my questions are is really, I'm trying to understand how we generate more revenue into this corporation. At this time, we only have the one trick, or the one egg, which is the municipal accommodation tax. But given our terms and conditions, the terms of conditions within this organization, I think that there's a real opportunity to explore other lines of revenue that may help us with generating more dollars into this corporation that helps us with driving more of the tourism strategy. I would like to understand how best we can actually do that research to identify additional lines of revenue that might be more than just the MAT. And I don't know who to go to for that. And I understand it is outside the scope of this information report, but it did drive a lot of my questioning because of just understanding the OVG deal.
So I would think we would bring direction forward, asking staff to maybe report back to us on that for today. I mean, we could move today. We could leave it as a notice today. You can take some time. I don't know when the next meeting would be, but I would say we would provide direction from the board of directors, asking staff to report back on different avenues outside the hotel revenue. But I think the GM would like to add something. So I'm going to let GM Broussard.
Yeah, thank you. I think one of the things we have to kind of figure out on this is legally, what can this board do in terms of its revenue sources? Can this board obtain revenue from other sources other than the municipal accommodation tax? I'm not sure. I think that's a bit of a blurry line there. So I think the best thing to do here is for staff to take this back. We'll do some consultation with legal and come back to you. Is that okay?
Yes, the only question I would have is, do you need official direction for that? I would say we do. So can we do that now, clerk?
You can do that now. If you want to think about the wording, we have a shareholder meeting coming up. I don't know how soon you want that information coming back. Well, it's still to be scheduled, but it's going to be late November, early December.
Well, if we give the direction today, I'm not saying we're going to be ready to provide an answer by that meeting, but it gives us at least an opportunity to provide it if we give the direction today,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Are you good with that, Councillor Wang?
So you want to make the motion now?
So I'd like to make the motion to direct staff to explore or identify and understand the legal framework to allow for the HTDC to explore other revenue generations beyond the municipal accommodation tax. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna make sure we have the wording right, but I think everybody understands, no, I could second that, clerk. You know, we're down to only two of us that can do it, so our options are limited.
Can I ask a question?
You can, go ahead.
Thank you. Just a question on that, Chair. So I think if I have Councillor Wang's intention correct, stepping back, it's focuses Hamilton tourism, and we want to promote Hamilton tourism, do more with that, have more revenue. And this direction is specifically about this Tourism Development Corporation, which was created in order to be able to manage the MAT, right? That was a requirement. So there's still the possibility or the option for generating more revenue outside of this narrow view, but for Hamilton tourism in general. So I just want to make sure I understand that correctly. This would be just one prong of potential look at revenue sources elsewhere within the city. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think that when I think about this, Hamilton Tourism is a city department. Doesn't necessarily have the mandate to actually generate revenue on its own. However, as a corporation, we have an ability to go off and explore other opportunities. But I also see that Dave McKenna's on the line too. But like that was the crux of my thinking, was that as a city department, they may not have the ability to go off and find other revenue sources. However, as a corporation, we may be a little more free to go off and do that. So, but I don't know the answer, hence the reason why I'm asking.
Hi, folks. Can I jump in here?
Sure, you can jump in. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. David McKenna, solicitor with Legal Services. I think I might be able to shed a little bit of light on some of the questions that have been raised by the councillor this morning. So I've got open in front of me the shareholder declaration for HTDC, which is the document that was signed into being at the inception of the corporation, that essentially provides direction from the shareholder, being the City of Hamilton, to the corporation. So one of the items in the shareholder declaration is the permitted business activities of the corporation. So if you'll allow me, I can just read it out to you here. Subject to the corporation's financial resources and consistent with the overall principles and objectives outlined in this direction, the corporation may engage in any of the following business activities: businesses permitted by applicable laws, or businesses that are approved by the board, including the following business activities, some of which are presently being carried out by the corporation, namely providing tourism promotion services to the city and providing tourism development services to the city. So to summarize that, HTDC is permitted through its constating documents to undertake businesses that are permitted by applicable law. So really the door is open there to your imaginations, whatever revenue streams we think are applicable or obtainable. The corporation HTDC, namely, is permitted through its constating documents to pursue such opportunities as the board may direct.
Thank you, Solicitor. So just to confirm, we could change the direction for staff to find out from legal whether we can find other ways to generate revenue, and we can change that direction to have staff report back on other avenues that we can generate revenue, because I think from what you say, we're open to do that from a legal standpoint.
That's correct, Councillor. Yeah, there's no prohibitions against the business activities the corporation may undertake.
Thank you for that. And I'm just going to go to Director Abbott because I see your hand up. Director, you have something to add?
Thank you so much. If I can, through the chair, also add to the conversation. Thank you for your comments, Councillor Wang. There are actually a few avenues that we are investigating in terms of revenue generation. And so happy to take your direction and be able to report back on some initiatives that we have already been talking about in the background. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Councillor Wang, if you're okay, I guess we'll change the direction from a legal review to having staff report back with the current avenues they're looking at and any other avenues that could exist. Everybody's okay with that? Councillor Cassar, you're good? Perfect. Clerk, that's clear as mud, I'm assuming? Yep.
A little clearer than that.
Okay,
Councillor.
good. Okay, so we're going to read it out, Clerk, what do you want to do here? Do you want to wait? Do you want me to go through the resolutions and then go back to a motion?
Yes, I would at least get through, so are we finished? If we're finished the discussion on this item, we can do that vote now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a mover and a seconder to receive the update. Show of hands. Oh,
Well, we don't need that because that's built into the resolutions.
okay. Mine's asking for a show of hands, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Sorry, that's my mistake.
So we're going to go to 10.1?
No, you're going to put the motion on the floor right now?
Okay.
Bear with me while I just call up a new vote here. And that was moved by Councillor Huang and seconded by Councillor Spatafora.
Correct. Electronic vote, clerk?
Yes, please.
Just waiting for the vote to come up. And the vote is up. And that carries 3-0. Thank you. I don't believe we have any motions or notice of motions. Okay, private and confidential, no. We're going to move on to the Board of Directors resolutions, which is item 10.1, resolutions of the Board of Directors. Mover and seconder to put the resolutions of the Board of Directors on the floor. Councillor Wang, Councillor Cassar, any discussion on the resolutions? Seeing none, we'll go to, yep. Sorry.
I wonder if we should take this time to grill the new president of this organization.
Feel free to grill,
Duh.
Councillor.
So,
Boy.
incoming president, from your activities in other municipalities, I think that Markham does have a tourism organization as well. What would you say are some of the opportunities, given some of the experiences you've had in the past for this particular organization?
Yes, through the chair, it's a great question. Yes, Markham does have a tourism board. It's called Destination Markham. And one of the and I was a member of that for about 4 or 5 years, since I was in Markham. I think one of the major issues is coordination. In the whole tourism sector, there are many different players doing many different things. In fact, your earlier questions today were kind of indicative of that. I think one of the key aspects of what we need to do is to be actually effective on the ground is make sure that we have good coordinated aspect with respect to everything related to tourism, and that this board is well informed so that you can make decisions and help us move various items forward. In Markham, the lack of coordination was actually something that was very worrying. We had councillors on the board. We kind of had a revolving door of business leaders, and that didn't really help. So we need a firm, strong board that's well coordinated with a real sense of direction and purpose. That I find that's what works. I was hoping for more.
I have 6 or 7 questions.
Okay.
Just joking. I don't believe we have any other discussion on the resolution, so we will go to an electronic vote, please. That vote carries 3-0. Welcome aboard. Thank you to staff. I don't think we have any other business, and the meeting is adjourned at 9:59 a.m. Have a good day.